Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. Welcome to May. Trying to get my cultivator here. The next task is to get the field ready for planting. Alright, so heading out and starting my work here. I have to calibrate my GPS eventually, but obviously the first part is just setting the borders. So I think what I'm going to do, just looking at the prices of things right now, I think my next crop is going to be canola. It's pretty good as far as the dollars per thousand. It's right up there with oats. I don't know that I need bales again right away. So I'm going to do something a little simpler just to move forward and get the situation taken care of. The other piece is I don't want to bale until I know that I've got a harvester that at least outputs something reasonable. The baling took forever. Obviously running all over the field, it was just a lot. I could do oats or something. I could do another grain and just not do a straw swath. There's nothing specific. There's not a huge benefit to it. It's not as if right now I've got any kind of production going on or anything like that. A good cash crop, but something other than soybeans is kind of what I was hoping for. I'm going to go ahead and get this work done. Again, it's probably going to take a little bit of time. And this may be one of the things over time that we expand a bit. I'm not quite sure that we can expand the cultivator much without increasing the horsepower of the tractors, so I think it kind of becomes a chicken and egg type of thing. I don't want to create a situation like I have with the harvester, which I really kind of had to do to make some kind of progress, because obviously it was really a viable harvester that I could afford. But now that I've got something reasonable that I've found, I'm going to go ahead and work toward that. Again, we're needing like 47,000 or so to do that. I think with the strawberries and the strawberries are the only thing that are going to make it, but we also have the ability, remember, we'll be selling that harvester, so there's going to be some cash generated there. So I'm feeling pretty good that by the time our canola goes, we'll be ready. The challenge is going to be, frankly, that it's going to take a while for it to grow. I think canola maybe has a longer growing cycle, but I'm not entirely sure that I'm remembering that correctly. Let me get this field cultivated, and I'll be back when it's time to plant. Alright, so it's about 10:30 in the morning. Time to get our seeder. So yeah, the other thing I'll probably look at is maybe if I can find a small direct seeder. I think the John Deere 8350 got released in mods I saw, and that one does fertilizer and but it's not a direct seeder. Alright, so I've got the seeder. Alright, that's canola. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting this planted. So if we lower this, you can see there we go. Don't know how much seed consumption we're going to have, but let me start getting around the field here. And again, nothing new to see here per se. I'm just trying to get you aware of what I'm doing. I think again, I'm falling off the edge there. Always a problem when I go around that tree. So let me fumble around here, and I will talk to you in a bit. Alright, gone ahead, put the seeder down. Let's just take a look at what we've got. So if I run out here on the field, again, we've established we're not doing rolling. But right now, obviously we have no fertilization, but the thing we forgot last time was weeds. So you can see there's weed growing, and we can use a weeder. So that's the next job. So I've been working on the weeding for a while. You can see I've gotten a good portion of the field done. This is definitely one of those things that really doesn't work well without GPS. I mean, it would be virtually impossible to tell if it's been properly covered or not. So part of the driver for this too is I've come across some comments that indicate if you do weeding like this before the weeds appear, that you actually get an even better crop yield, because there's a 15% penalty if you wait to weed before the weeds arrive. I don't know if that's accurate, but it certainly can't be any worse than what we've done, and at least, you know, the weeding is done and we'll have a pretty clean process after that. So certainly with survival, any kind of benefit we can get, any little advantage is absolutely something I want to take advantage of, because it's hard enough as it is. And so if nothing else, we're going to get crops that are the highest yield we can, as opposed to the problem I had with oats, where I just completely forgot to weed. And that obviously will have hit the yield on the crop to some degree. So this is definitely going to be a better result for the canola here. Weeding is done. It's just a little after 3:30, so I'm just going to really get in a full day's work here and get the first layer of fertilization on this field too. So we can see a little bit of difference on the field. It's a little bit darker where I'm fertilizing, and not really any reason that I would think it wouldn't work, especially since our weeding is manual with just a weeder, and we're not spraying. So it's not as if we have two wet jobs, two spray jobs, or two dry jobs, although you can't do herbicide in a dry form that I've seen. The biggest difficulty I'm going to have here is that obviously it's getting dark, the shadows are getting long, and it always creates a challenge for visibility on the field the longer we go into the day. So it almost drives me to wonder if clearing out and not having trees so close to the field, aside from the fact that the maneuvering would be better, would also help, because we don't have those long shadows, you know, and we'd still probably have to get rid of a lot more trees than we're thinking, but you know, it might not be too bad. Obviously those trees can be turned into money, but the challenge also is there would also be an incredible temptation to then expand the field, and we just continue chasing the problem then. I clear out trees, see all this open land, be like, let's make it productive. Then I'd be up against trees, and then I'd be repeating the cycle. So I'm running at this point every 3 rows. I'm going to keep working at this, and I will return when this is done. Little tiny bit left over there, so I've got to go over to row 16 here, and then that will be the last bit to be fertilized. So I am going to have to take this tractor in for repair and to get some fuel, but for now running it pretty hard in the survival series. So got 50% fertilized. At this point, we're done. A lot of work today. Feeling pretty good. Feeling like we're going to make it. Obviously, we're going to continue to sell strawberries. We've got plenty of water to get things going. The one thing I guess I do want to see, I'm not seeing it, so I'm going to have to add a mod that gives me some visibility on crop stages, because that will help with some of the planning in the future too. So I'll make some changes here between this episode and next, but I'll see you next time.